Hi. Today we are going to see how to integrate Teams with SAP C4C. To do so, navigate to the Work Center business configuration under implementation project. Go to the Edit Project Scope and select the project and go to the Edit Project Scope and navigate to the scoping element under Sales, Account and Activity Management. Select the Activity Management. Select the activity management in the scoping and navigate to this question, and you have to activate these three questions. Do you want to enable Microsoft Team integration? Just trigger the in scope, and the next one is, do you want to enable appointments for Microsoft Team collaboration by default? So by default, whenever you create an appointment through activity, system will have its subject as Microsoft Teams. So once when you trigger this, it will show the description as Microsoft Teams. I'll be showing you this. Then the third option is, do you want to add reference object as a part of Microsoft Teams request? So again, this you can activate it for the testing purpose. Once you have done the activation of all this scoping element questions, you can click on next and finish the settings. So once the elements and the scoping questions are being activated, we have to navigate to the developer Microsoft.com link, and you have to click on the join now. This is an developer account which will be created from Microsoft. So by default, I have created the initial setup over here where the things have been already been incorporated. So just want to showcase how things work. So once you click on join now, you direct you to the requested page. As there is an security which has been inbuilt feature which has been activated. So once I approve the functionality, it takes me directly into the particular developer page. So since I have been by default, I have activated all the features. You'll be able to see this particular screen where system has already been manipulated all the data which I have pre-uploaded it. So this is where the Microsoft developer program page has been created in the Microsoft. So basically, Microsoft allows you to create your own email ID with along with your password. So by default, you can select your prescribed email, whichever account you want to maintain it. Like, so for my instant, I have just taken it as Ashok at SAP Cloud for Customer on Microsoft.com. This domain name is by default which SAP provide. Which Microsoft provides. Once you have done with your initial set of Microsoft developer subscription, you have to navigate to your admin page where you will have a detailed view of the user access which is being provided. Like you can have your own features in it. So in this setting where you will be able to see and create the account which is being maintained in Microsoft. For instance, like if you could see, there'll be active users for which you can create your own user ID, and through which you can enable the feature called Microsoft 360 E5 developer, based on which you will have the integration of the SAP C4C. So here, what happens? Whatever the email ID is being provided in the Teams has to be maintained in the SAP C4C employee as well. So both the email ID has to remain same for the synchronization purpose. So for that, you have to go to administrator and you have to go to the employee and pick the employee to which you want to maintain the email. So for instance, over here I have taken the Deepak's ID, where you have to click on edit, and you have to maintain the email ID which you are using in Microsoft Teams. So for instance, like I have already updated the email over here, so I get all the communication from Microsoft Teams with this integration of my same email ID. So once you have set the user ID and the password with the Microsoft Teams, now we have to navigate to Microsoft Teams Admin Center, where you will have a set of applications where you can add it to your Teams. So since we have already activated that and we have tested and things like that. I'm going to show you how this functionality works in Teams. So for my internal testing purpose, I have just added the application called SAP Sales and Service. So to activate SAP C4C in Teams, you have to go to the apps and you have to search for the SAP apps over here in the App Center. And since I have already been activated the apps in a particular chat room, I'm just going to show you how the functionality works. So by default, I have just added the apps in the chat room. So I'm going to show how the functionality works. So you have to click and select on SAP Sales Cloud on the top bar, which is available on the tab which is available on top. So you have to sign in. By default, when you sign in, it's as usual, like how you sign in using your web URL. You just have to log in with your user ID and the password. So basically, the Teams gets authenticated with the SAP C4C by default, and here you have certain features which are like the Teams provides access. Like you can access the accounts, appointments, competitor, product, and email, employee, and all those things. For instance, if you go select the account, then you select for a particular account. So you'll be able to see a set of account owners and things like that in detail. So this is how the integration happens between SAP C4C and Teams. So now this is one small feature which is by default integrated. Now let's see how the activity functionality is being like working in SAP C4C along with Teams. So now I've navigated back to SAP C4C using a web URL. So what happens? We have to navigate to activities and go to appointments. So here, if you could see in the scoping elements, I have selected few set of questions where whether you want to use the default Microsoft Teams as your appointment recipe. So whenever I create a new appointment, the system automatically picks Microsoft Teams as a location. So this is the feature which has been enabled using the scoping elements questions. So by default, this functionality gets triggered. So I'll show you one particular appointments which I have created, and so you can have a look from where you can by default you can schedule a Teams call directly from appointment. So by navigating to this particular work center, you can see the team meeting. You can directly launch the meeting from SAP C4C. So once I click on launch team meeting, system automatically triggers to open the Microsoft Team application, where you can directly jump to the conversation with the concerned persons where you want to have the meeting to be held. So this is how the integration happens between SAP and Microsoft. So this is an interesting feature which SAP and Microsoft team has built together where you have the functionality to work between two systems. So this is how the entire structure of integration works within Microsoft Teams and SAP. Thank you.